Hi, I'm Scott from SFFaudio. Going to talk to you about some audiobooks we've got in. The first one I want to talk to you about is called The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. It's a Mistborn novel. It's read by Michael Kramer, and this takes place, it looks like, 300 years after the events in the Mistborn trilogy. Scadrial is now on the verge of modernity, with railroads to supplement the canals, electric lighting in the streets and the homes of the wealthy, and the first steel-framed skyscrapers racing for the clouds. Oh, that's cool. The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. Excellent. Alright, next up we've got The Hum and the Shiver by Alex Bledsoe. It's read by Emily Janice Card and Stefan Rudnicki. It's from Blackstone Audio. The Tufa Novels, Book 1, it says. 9.5 hours. No one knows where the Tufa come from or how they ended up in the mountains of the East Tennessee. When the first Europeans came to the Smoky Mountains, the Tufa were already there. Dark-haired and enigmatic, they lived quietly in the hills and valleys of the Cloud Country, their origins lost to history. But there are clues in their music, hidden in the songs they have passed down for generations. Now this is interesting. Private Brownwind Hyatt, a true daughter of the Tufa, has returned from Iraq, wounded in body and spirit, but her troubles are far from over. Cryptic omens warn of impending tragedy. So, interesting. The Hum and Shiver by Alex Bledsoe. Here's a fantasy, looks like. The Apothecary. Hope I said that right. Apothecary, yeah, by M-A-I-L-E, Malloy. Read by Kristen Milotti. Says here it's 1952 and the Scott family has just moved from Los Angeles to London. There, 14-year-old Janie meets a mysterious apothecary and becomes fascinated by his son, Benjamin Burroughs, a boy who isn't afraid to stand up to authority and dreams of becoming a spy. When Benjamin's father is kidnapped, Janie and Benjamin must uncover the secrets of the apothecary's sacred book, the Pharmacopoeia, in order to find him while all keeping secrets out of the hands of the Russian spies. Anyway, fantasy novel. Yep. Okay. This is an interesting one. It's in from Penguin. This is called Why Read Moby Dick by Nathaniel Philbrick. It's read by the author. It's just a couple of CDs long. But it is unabridged. There's a little whale. There be whales here. It says, one of the greatest American novels finds its perfect contemporary champion in Why Read Moby Dick. Nathaniel Philbrick's enlightening and always entertaining tour through the world of Melville's classic. Definitely going to listen to that. Find out what that's all about. Ooh, The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead, Rise of the Governor by Robert Kirkman and Jay Bonansinga. This is read by Fred Berman. I listened to this and I thought it was very good. If you like the series or the comic books, although I haven't read too many of the comic books, so I guess I'm coming at it from the series. If you like the series, this is probably going to appeal to you. Yep. Grizzly, lots of zombie stuff going on. It's about a family that goes to Atlanta through the zombie apocalypse, and one of them is Philip Blake, which is the name of the governor, who is a character in the graphic novels, who's apparently a pretty bad guy, but I haven't read any of those. So, oh, what else have we got here? Another bad guy, Norman Bates. Psycho 2: The Nightmare Continues by Robert Bloch. It's read by Paul Michael Garcia. You remember Norman Bates, the shy motel manager with a fatal mother fixation? Now, years after his horrific bout of butchery, Norman is at large again. Breaking free from the psycho ward, he cuts a shocking swath of blood all the way to Hollywood, where, so it happens, they are making a movie about Norman's life and crimes. A movie that suddenly and terrifyingly becomes a lot like real life. That's interesting. Psycho 2. Awesome. Hey, another movie. Looks like we're getting into the media tie-ins here. or the media inspiration. Steel and Other Stories by Richard Matheson, read by Scott Brick. So the title story here, called Steel, inspired the movie Real Steel with Hugh Jackman. It says on the back that there's 12 stories in there, but it doesn't list them, which is always annoying. I really don't know which. There's 12 mystery stories on here. The first one is Steel, and it also mentions one called The Splendid Source, which is a satirical fantasy, which was recently turned into an episode of Family Guy. That's interesting, but no idea what the rest of them are. I wonder sometimes it says something on the CDs, but usually with the... Nope, I don't see anything there. So, anyway, 12 stories. How about this one? Bad Moon Rising by Jonathan Mayberry. Now, Jonathan Mayberry is an author I've been seeing a lot lately come through, but I haven't read anything of his or heard it. Read by Tom Weiner. And this is the Pine Deep Trilogy, book number 3. A new master of terror reigns supreme, and in his most horrifying novel yet, the clash between good and evil explodes in an apocalyptic showdown. Few will survive. Each year, the residents of Pine Deep host a Halloween festival, drawing tourists and celebrities from across the country to enjoy the deliciously creepy fun. Those who visit the small Pennsylvania town are out for a good time, but those who live there are desperately trying to survive, for a monstrous evil lies among them, a savage presence whose malicious power has grown too powerful even for death to hold it back. So that's enough there, but... Alright. Book 3 of the Pine Deep Trilogy. And I was happy to see this. We've got more zombies here. This is called We're Alive, A Story of Survival. Now, We're Alive is a modern radio drama. On this set, season 2 set, there's 12 episodes, and they all take place after the zombie apocalypse, I believe. And the hope of a better life forces Michael Cross and the other survivors out of the tower, out into the dissolving world around them. The consequences of past battles leave them struggling not only with each other, but the remaining fragments of humanity. So anyway, it's by K.C. Wayland. Audio drama collection. Here's something by Nancy Kress called Beggar's Ride. Now this is the third book in the Beggar's Trilogy. I was just the other day starting to listen to Beggars in Spain, the original novella by Nancy Kress, which was put out on audio by Infinivox and is still available on Audible, and probably through Infinivox as well. But she turned that one into a novel, and then here's book 3 of the same series. This is read by Judy Young. And it says, in this final installment of Nancy Kress's award-winning Beggar's Trilogy, it is now 200 years in the future. Regular human beings hate and fear the sleepless and the super sleepless, genetically modified humans who are immune to disease and hunger and do not need to sleep. That would be nice. Alright. Here's another horror novel, kind of a zombie thing, it looks to me. Vacation by Matthew Costello. It's read by Peter Macon. This says, after a global crisis causes crops to fail and species to disappear, something even more deadly happens. Masses around the world suddenly become predators, feeding off their own kind. These canheads grow to such a threat that fences, gated compounds, and SWAT-style police protection become absolutely necessary to live. And then it goes on to say that there's a New York City police officer who goes on vacation to a compound, participates in a battle, and they like him so much that they want to hire him for the security. So, anyway, interesting. It says Matthew J. Costello's best-selling award-winning work across all media has meshed gameplay, technology, and story. He's a writer and creator of groundbreaking television novels, nonfiction books, and games in both the US and the UK. But it doesn't mention any of them. Alright. Robert A. Heinlein, one of his later books, To Sail Beyond the Sunset, read by Bernadette Dunn. It's unabridged, of course. Well, these are all unabridged. Maureen Johnson, the somewhat irregular mother of Lazarus Long, wakes up in bed with a man and a cat. The cat is Pixel, well known to fans of the New York Times bestseller The Cat Who Walks Through Walls. The man is a stranger to her, and besides that, he is dead. Thus begins To Sail Beyond the Sunset. And that's all I've got for you today. See you later.